Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of the Mod Squad. Today we are going to kind of build on the theme of our last episode, which was plank. When we go through a vinyasa flow of yoga, we often use kind of the sequencing of coming from a plank through a chaturanga push-up into up dog and back to down dog. So we've started with the plank, kind of gave the positioning and the great starting point to get you going there. So you can see that previous video to kind of get the top portion of the movement all figured out and get yourself nice and squared away with a good plank. But today we're going to move through what they call the chaturanga tadasana, which is that movement that gets us from the plank down to that positioning so that we can go into our up dog and meet back in our down dog. This was something that somebody suggested that they kind of wanted a little bit more information on. So this is for Vanessa, just to kind of give you some idea and some ways to practice kind of strengthening your shoulders, strengthening that upper body so that you can kind of move through that flow with ease. So just to get started, we want to think about on the mat. So we have that nice plank positioning, so we want those fingers spread nice and wide, shoulders over the wrist. So we want this upper part of our arm to be at a 90-degree angle with the elbow and with the mat. So to kind of get that feeling, we're going to first start on our back. So we're going to lay nice and flat, keeping those elbows to the side so we can kind of see that positioning here. And you can think about squeezing those shoulder blades, opening up the chest. So this is the feeling that we want to get when we're flipped over onto our belly side down. So just kind of giving yourself, okay, this is where the positioning I want to be so that when you practice it, you kind of know what you're shooting for. So now we're going to bring it back over and kind of work through some ways that you can kind of practice that. So the first one, we're going to start with some blocks. And we're going to bring them up to the mat, long side up. So when we think about moving into this positioning, we're in that plank, but we're going to think about shifting our shoulders forward, keeping the elbows over kind of this meaty part of our palm, and then we're going to come down. So we're going to start on our knees just to kind of help build some strength. So with the blocks up nice and tall, coming to our knees, that nice plank positioning, we're going to shift the weight forward, come down, tap the shoulders, because that's going to, you see that nice positioning. We got that upper arm parallel to the mat, and then push back. So using blocks to kind of practice here, to kind of help your body get the sensation of, okay, this is where we need to go. We're coming forward a little, because if we stay too far back, the tendency is just to collapse down to the mat. We want that nice integrity here. So we're going to shift forward just a little bit, keeping the forearms in line with those blocks. Tap our shoulders and then push up. So that's a good way to kind of practice it, to kind of get the sensation of it. If you feel like you're getting it, come up to the toes. Again, shift forward, come down, and tap. The next kind of cheat we're going to use here is we're going to bring the blocks kind of down so that they're going to be about mid-thigh. And once you kind of feel like maybe you've got it from the knees, this is going to be kind of like your next progression here. So from here, we're coming to our plank position, shifting forward as we keep those elbows nice and tight, lowering down, and now the tops of our thighs are going to be on the tops of the blocks. So we get the feeling of that full chaturanga here without having to come to our knees. And again, this is going to be great practice for you to kind of get the feeling, get the sensation of what it feels like as we start to get stronger in the movement and get more proficient in the movement. So we got the plank, we got that movement down to get us to up dog and down dog. And stay tuned, because our next video we're going to go through up dog, we're going to go through down dog, kind of some great tips and tricks to get you squared away as we go through our vinyasa flows, because if you've been to any of our classes here at CPM, you know we tend to like our vinyasas. So this will help kind of build your strength, get you ready to be a yogi master here. And so I hope you join me next time. Thanks, guys. If you have any questions, if you have any tips or tricks, anything you want to see, don't forget it's the Mod Squad SF@gmail.com. Thanks, guys.